Hi, welcome to episode 87A of the Passionate Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for this podcast. Please come over, join in. There are a lot of knit-alongs going on over there, and thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sticking with me in my absence. If you are a member of the Ravelry group or, just popped in there, there is a thread up why I've been absent, and I'm just gonna say I had shit weeks, very, very awful, and I needed time for myself, and I still do. So I wanted to pop in and show you all of the knitting things that I have to show. There are a lot. So I'm gonna do this episode in two parts. I'm gonna do all the knitting and yarny stuff today, and I'm going to do all the sewing related things maybe on Thursday. So yeah, 2 episodes for this week because it's just so much stuff. Yeah, like I said, I've been doing a lot. I knit a lot and I did a lot of sewing because I needed the distraction, and yeah, I really don't know what to say. I'm just going to put it into one sentence and move on. I hope that's okay for everyone. A month and 10 days ago, my dad passed away very suddenly, and I'm trying to continue my life, and it's not easy. So that's it. I'm not going to say anything else. If you want to see more about that, please go to the group and read the thread that's titled Where I Am Right Now. You can go there and read through, and it should tell you everything you want to know. Now, let's start this program because, I need to do this the normal way. What I'm wearing today is the iDays cardigan by Cerelia Rose. It's a free pattern. I knit it out of Barocco Vintage Chunky. And it's a beautiful cabled cardigan. It's just a open front thing that I throw on all the time. I think it's my most worn finished object because it's just... The Barocco Vintage Chunky is machine washable, so I just pop it in a washer and pop it back on. It's perfect. So, knitting in the past. The first thing I finished is this pair of socks. They are for my son. I used leftover yarn from a German industrial yarn, from a commercial sock yarn. It's by Fischerwolle, and I love using this yarn. It knits up super nice. It's very sturdy, and yeah. So socks for the kid, and he has gigantic feet already. So this is gonna be fun when he gets older. So yeah, socks for the kid, finished. Then next, I knit a pair of socks for myself. They're Franken socks. I used leftover sock yarn. The only thing I did the exact same for both socks were cuffs, heels, and toes. And all the yarns in between, I used the same yarn on both socks, but not in the same, there's a hair on it, not in the same striping sequence. I just did random things. And like I said on my Instagram post for these, I am not sure if they are ugly or amazing. Most people seem to think that they are amazing, or the ones who think they're ugly just didn't say. But these are for me. I think it's the second pair I knit for myself this year, and it is pair number 22, I think. I'm not sure. Something in the early 20. Yeah. I knit these on US 2s, like always. It's a 2.75 millimeter needle, 64 stitches, top down, slipped stitch heel, normal socks. Like I always knit my socks. These also, the exact same recipe, but just with 48 stitches maybe. So, socks done, both out of leftovers. And then for the bigger things, I knit a hat yesterday for my son out of the leftovers from this cardigan. So it is Barocco Vintage Chunky. That's the label. I really enjoy using it. It is a 52 acrylic, 40 wool, and 8% nylon blend. And it knits super easy. It's great to use. But here's the label. And this is for my son, so it's a bit small. And it does fit him great. I put it on him this morning just to check. When he came home from Kita yesterday, and I did make him the Langfield by Martina Behm, which is a slouchy hat. And it's just when he's outside playing and running around, it always just slips over his eyes. So my husband told me that he needed a different hat so he can put it on himself and not have to push it back all the time. And I made this one. It is what is it? It's Northward. It's a Tin Can Knits pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I had finished something else out of this yarn that I'm going to show later. And I just wanted to use what I had in my hands. So I popped into Ravelry, did the advanced search, and came up with this hat pattern. Super easy, super quick. I think it took me about 2 hours. And it fits perfectly. I did knit this with a US 9 and a US 10.5. That's 5.5 and 6.5 millimeter needles. I did it on magic loop because I was too lazy to get up and get DPNs. And the size is child. They have baby, child, small adult, and large adult, something like that. And this is the child. And it fits like a glove. It's perfect. So that's the next thing. And then I have 2 finished sweaters, both for Tim. First off is the flax. Another free pattern by Tin Can Knits. And I love their patterns for sweaters because they start with newborn and go up to adult 4XL. And it's a free pattern, so it's perfect. What I did here, I marked the 2 sizes that I'm using because I did a combination with different colors and just color coded all the instructions. So here is the sweater. It looks like this. The yarn that I used is Jujube Creative. I have no idea if she still exists. This is the label. And the colorway is Topography. No idea how to say that. Topography. And the yarn is a superwash merino and non-superwash merino blend. And it gives it this marled effect. Can you see that? So this is what I had left. I had 2 skeins. This is left over. And this is my sweater. It fits him perfectly. It looks super cute. What I did, as I'm a super tight knitter, I used a needle that's recommended, and I cast on for the size 4 to 6 years. Tim needs the 2 to 4 year size. I measured him. And it worked out perfectly. I used the stitch count for the bigger size and the centimeter count when you have to measure stuff for the smaller size, and the sweater is perfect. For this one, I did the garter stitch all the way down to the cuff like it's suggested. I love how the yarn patterned. There's no pooling except for up here a little bit, but for the sleeves and the body of the sweater, it just did the exact same thing and it looks amazing. So this is worsted weight. It's a warm sweater and I'm super happy with it. I'm glad that I got 2 skeins of this yarn years ago and hadn't used it yet. So it made a perfect sweater for the kid. And after I finished this one, I decided that I wanted to make another one for him. And this time I went for the Flex Light, also by Tin Can Knits. And I did the exact same thing for the sizing. This time I used Patton's Croy. And it looks like this. And I think it is adorable. The yarn is, like I said, Patton's Croy in their rag shades. I bought this on vacation in the US years ago. Again, it's very old stuff that I'm using up here. And I had gotten 2 skeins on one vacation, and the next year I got 2 more skeins. So I had 4 of these. And they were different They had a different color number, which is weird because it was the exact same yarn, and they had different lot numbers, of course. So what I did, I decided on one skein to start with and used the 2 exact same skeins for the whole body, and was able to knit 1 color repeat until here on both sleeves. So the down part on both sleeves is the new yarn, and I think you really cannot see a difference. If I hold it up close, it's just, I can't tell a difference. So yeah, I made this sweater for the kid. Fits perfectly because it's the exact same size as this one. It's just thinner. And I think the Patton's Croy really looks super cute. The striping, really nice. I finished this sweater at the knitting retreat I was last weekend, and the leftover yarn I used up 2 skeins completely and maybe a half skein, if that, because I only had to knit that much of both sleeves with the 3rd skein. And I gave the rest of the yarn away to a friend for her to knit socks for her. So yeah, most of this was knit in a car. My husband never lets me knit in a car because he's always afraid that if he has it just bumps into something and the airbag goes off, that I'm gonna stab myself. And this time I just okay, I'm gonna try. You know, I've been asking if it's okay if I knit for 14 years now, and he's always said, please don't. And this time he said, yeah, sure. Okay. So in Ireland, when we did our day trip, I'm gonna talk the Ireland trip later. I knit most of the body in Ireland in the car and on the plane, and I knit the sleeves on the car to the knitting retreat and finished it there. So most of it was knit in a car. Oh, it smells really good. It's just, I just washed it. So he can now wear those. And the hat. And the socks. 5 things finished and 4 of them are for my child. Mother of the year. So I'm going to put this somewhere else. Ugh. I have so much stuff to show that I just do not know where to put things. Okay. Now, that's it for the finished objects. I think that's enough. For knitting in the present, I have a lot. I have 2 almost finished objects. I'm going to start with the one that's on top. And I did not bring the pattern because I forgot. I'm going to bring it next time when it's completely done. I dug out a UFO. I started this vest again for Tim in May, I think. And knit about that much and put it in a project bag and totally forgot about it. And I dug it out and finished it within 2 days. This is the Deckard vest by Katja Frankel. It's out of the book Boys Knits. I'm going to show it next time. I used the Barocco Vintage Chunky that I had left from my cardigan here and knit up this vest. And when I had it done, I still had enough left for the hat. So here it is. It's a hooded vest. It's going to have a zipper installed in front, and I need to weave in all the ends. But apart from that, it's done. So you can't really see anything. I mean, it just looks like a weird thing. I have to put in a zipper and I have to wash and block it. I'm going to show it next time. It's knit in 1 piece. There's no seaming. Yeah, it has a hood. Super easy to do. Great pattern, easy to follow, and yeah. So finished, but not completely finished. The yarn is the Barocco Vintage Chunky, and I used a US 10.5. That's a 6.5 millimeter needle, and then the 4T size. So that's that. Now the things that I'm making for myself. I am almost finished with this cardigan here, and again, I did not bring the book. I will do that next time. I used the oldest yarn in my stash, which is Schoppelwolle Baby Alpaca Naturbelassen, which is a wonderful name. It is I'd say, between a worsted and a bulky weight, like a heavy worsted weight, and it's a felted single. They discontinued this yarn, which is a shame because it's amazing. And it is a blend, like you just saw, of 50% alpaca and 50% wool. And what I did with this, I knit myself the Washington Square cardigan, which is a pattern by Melissa Valley, and it's in her book Metropolitan Knits, and I'm going to show it next time. And it is completely finished except for seaming and weaving in ends. So I have 2 sleeves. They are done. Here, 2 of them. And I have a completely finished body that looks like this right now, because I decided to do it a bit different than the pattern suggests. The pattern tells you to finish all your pieces, block them out, seam them together, and then attach the collar and the button bands. And I wanted to have the collar and the button bands washed and blocked as well. So what I did instead, I seamed the shoulder seams, attached the collar, knit the button bands, and then I blocked it flat with the collar standing up. I put it just a little pin so it wouldn't flop down. And yeah, this is what it looks like right now. It looks like a mess, but it's actually, I think it's going to be super pretty. So this is the front with the pattern. What I did, the yarn that I used, the pattern is for, I think it's Cascade Eco Wool. So it's a very bulky weight yarn. I used this yarn because I had this yarn. And I had to go and knit. I did a swatch because I'm a good knitter. I knit a swatch and I did the math, which was challenging because I'm not very good at math. And I did knit the biggest size that's given in the book to get the 38 that I need. And I think it worked out wonderfully. So yeah, here I am. I'm going to show it to you again next time when it's completely done. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about it. It's super easy, super quick. 6.5mm needles, I think. No, 5.5s. It's knit on a US 9 5.5mm needle, and it's just, this yarn knits up so wonderfully. And I'm glad that I finally used it. So, and I love the color because it's brown, and I love brown. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to rearrange some things so I can put this away. Now, I'm gonna have to do a lot of sewing, weaving in ends, and attaching buttons, but if I don't, I will not have finished sweaters. So it's gonna work out. Good. Now these 2. Now, next thing. I received the new Pom Pom magazine in the mail 2 weeks ago or so. And when I flipped through, I really fell in love with the cover sweater. And of course, I do not have it here to show it to you because I'm out of it today. But it is called Tabular. It's by Maja Müller. I think she's German because the name is very German. And I started this sweater right away. What I am doing is I'm using hand spun and alpaca yarn again. Very old stash, all of these. So it looks like this right now. Maybe now you can tell what sweater this is. Oh wait, where do you go? I'm sorry for being weird today. It's all I can manage. So this is the sweater so far. This is here at the neckline. Can you tell maybe a bit how it might look? The original is knit out of Isaga yarn, and this is super thin stuff. I'm knitting this whole sweater on a 3mm needle, which is a challenge in itself because a 3mm needle, that's very thin. For the first part here, I used leftover hand spun from my drawer, and it is a skein that I actually didn't spin. I bought this. It's Gift of Grace hand spun. And I used up like 20 meters or something like that. And it is a superwash BFL. It's a sport weight. I'm knitting with a light fingering weight, but I made it work. It's just a bit tighter than it should be. Then for the next part here, this one is hand spun from me. It looks like this. I had just a 50-gram skein, a super small skein, and I just had no idea what to do with it. So okay, when this pattern came along, I decided to use this. And this is what I used. It's a mix, I have fluff in my mouth, of baby alpaca, baby camel, and silk that I knit and spun, that I spun up, and I got 144 meters for 57 grams. And I have over half of it left. I just used a bit. And the third color, as you can see here, there are cast on stitches. And in here, from my nose to my nose, needs to go another rectangle. And for that rectangle, I'm going to use this one here. It's another hand spun from me. I spindle spun the singles. One single is pure silk, the other one is pure alpaca. So this will go in here. And I think this is going to be amazing. And for the main sweater, I'm using this one. It's an alpaca and merino blend, I think. I'm not quite sure because I never had labels for these because I got them from the dyer. This is Drachenwolle Alpaca. It's a light fingering weight. And I think it knits up great. Looks like this. So yeah, this is my work in progress right now. It's gonna take forever because a sweater on 3mm needles with this fine gauge is just gonna take forever. But I think it's going to be so worth it. This is going to be amazing. So yeah, you will see this for a long time, I think, because it's gonna take a long time to knit. So let's pop all of these things in here and this as well. I have it in this project bag that I received in a club years ago. No idea where it came from. Good. Now that's that. And I have one more work in progress to show. It is in this gigantic project bag that my friend Stitchinista made for me. And it is the Ira sweater. Ira pullover is what it's called. This is the picture. It's all I have. It is from the current Knitwear magazine, Fall Winter 2017. And I am using Soxted Rock Heavyweight for it. So here's the label. Soxted Rock Heavyweight. The colorway is Lucky. I bought this yarn originally for a totally different sweater. And when I got it, I had ordered 4 skeins of the Soxted Rock Heavyweight in this colorway. And when I received it, I had 3 skeins of heavyweight and 1 medium weight. And then I messaged them and said, hey, there's been a mix-up. And they sent me a skein of heavyweight. And I got to keep the medium weight, which is good because I'm a bit short on yarn for this. So this is what it looks like so far. I have completed the front up to the armholes. So the next thing I have to do is bind off stitches for the armholes. And I think this is just knitting up so wonderfully. I love cables. So what I did for this to make it work, because like I said, I have the heavy weight and I'm a bit short on yarn. So I knit the ribbing with the medium weight. I just went down a needle size and knit the ribbing with the medium weight in the same colorway, and then went up a needle size and started the real sweater. And I think you're not going to be able to tell in the end. So yeah, this is also one of my planned sweaters together with the Washington Square. I'm going to wear both of these next year for Edinburgh Yarn Fest, because I know that there's the whole Rhinebeck sweater. I'm not going to go to Rhinebeck, possibly ever. So I'm going to make myself some Edinburgh Yarn Fest sweaters or outfits. So if you will be there, you can see both of these finished things when I'm wearing them, hopefully. So yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. I have to put it back now. I'm really sorry. This feels so strange and so out of... But yeah, it is what it is. It's either this or nothing at all. So if you don't like what you see, you can just go away. That's all I have to say. Good. Now I'm getting warm and I'm going to take this off. Now that's what I have on the needles. What I have planned, because I do have plans, is... Where is it? It's there. I have another 3 sweaters that I really want to cast on and a pair of mittens. I am subscribing, is that the real word, to the Knitworthy collection by Isolde Teague. It's the 4th year she's doing it. I have all 4 years because I love Isolde Teague's pattern. And yesterday she released the newest pattern. It's called Millet. It has 2 weird things on top. No idea how to say it, but they are beautiful colorwork mittens. And I totally want to knit colorwork right now. And I love those mittens. So I am going to make them. I'm going to try to find something that I can use in my stash. But I am absolutely sure that I do not have real colorwork yarn, because I just don't. Good. Now the other things. Let me take up another basket. I want to knit the Autumn Affinity by Susanne Sommer. She's a German. It looks like this. I'm not showing anything of the pattern. It's just a forward stuff. So this is what it looks like. It's a open front cardigan that fades color and has a bit of a brioche stuff. Never done brioche, so that's gonna be a first. It is knit out of sport weight yarn, which I do not have in my stash. I have little amounts of DK, like maybe some very tiny amounts of sport, a lot of worsted weight, a ton of fingering, but sport weight, I just don't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use fingering weight and I'm going to knit it 1 or 2 sizes larger. So that's going to work out. And the yarns that I decided to use is, I'm going to use this first. It's Travel Knitter. And it is Silky Merino in the colorway Mist. It's a 50 Merino, 50 Silk blend. So this is my first. And then I have all those skeins here. Those are Spin Cycle yarns. So it's going to be this. I'm going to start with the gray and then I'm going to go into the other yarns until I reach this color. And then for the bottom, I'm going to use another gray, and this is Wollmeise Pure in the Maus Jung, which is Young Mouse colorway. And I am not sure if I can hold these all up together. I'm going to try. So it's going to look like this. And then there is a contrast color around, and she uses like gray and different pinks and a dark pink for the band around, and I'm going to use this for the band around. It's another skein of Spin Cycle yarns, and it goes with this one. I bought these together and I've just decided to do it like this. So I'm going to use Spin Cycle yarns and Wollmeise and Travel Knitter to knit this cardigan because I love it. And like I just said, I use the I-Days all the time. It is another open front cardigan that I just throw on. So I have high hopes for this. I am not sure if I can show you all the yarns with this as a border. I'm gonna try. Because, you know, I'm weird, so I can't. It just flops out. Okay, you just have to imagine. I'm gonna show it to you, like this. So this will go all around. Okay, so that's the first thing. And I did have these 4 skeins of Spin Cycle yarns already in my stash because I got them at A Verb for Keeping Warm in Oakland years ago. And I got the other 2 skeins at the Edinburgh Yarn Fest this year. So I was looking for these Spin Cycle yarns, and they were in the last box that I opened. Of course, I mean, it would always have been the last box that I opened because, you know, as soon as I find them, they're in the last box. But I literally opened every single box of yarn that I have. And in the bottom one, I found them. So while I was looking for those, I came across a lot of other skeins of yarn. Single skeins. Or some double. So I found this one, which is Road to China Light. Or Road to China without light. Yeah, it's just Road to China. It's from, what is it? The Fiber Company. It's one skein. And I have this one single skein. It's from an early Knitspot and Hansen club. This single skein. And this is mink and cashmere. Super nice. Then I have these two skeins of Blue Sky alpacas. Another skein of Blue Sky alpacas. I got most of these on vacation as souvenir yarn. Then I have another skein of Fiber Company. This is Knightsbridge. Then I have these two skeins of hand-spun cashmere that my husband brought me back from Sydney years ago. I have this teeny weeny alpaca tryout skein from Fair Alpaca. They're a German company. And I also found two skeins of alpaca silk by Austermann and two skeins of yak from Lang Yarns. So they are all the same weight. They're all roughly Sport to DK weight. And I decided to use up all of these super nice specialty yarns in one project. And I went looking and I found something, and I did not print off a pattern picture, I think. I just printed the instructions. The pattern is by Vera Välimäki, I can tell you that. No, it's called Afloat in Red. It is in her color wheel book, which I have the ebook of, and I decided to use this. It's another open front cardigan with built-in pockets. So yeah, these are going to happen. And I'm just so happy to be able to knit these things using up my stash. That it's not, oh, I want to knit this, oh, I don't have yarn. It's like, no, I have yarn for almost everything. So this is going to work out great. So I'm going to make these. And another one that I want to show is the Stripes Gone Crazy. The pattern is, I think, by Atelier Alpha. And when I was at the knitting retreat last weekend, a friend of mine wore hers, and it's just so lovely that I decided I have to make this right now. And at this knitting retreat last year, I bought some skeins of yarn. Can you please unfreeze, because this is so not flattering. Camera. Okay. So last year, when I was at this retreat, I bought 4 skeins of yarn from a German indie dyer, or from 2 different German indie dyers, but they are the exact same yarn base, which is 60% wool, 20% silk, and 20% rami, which is another plant-based fiber. And I have 3 skeins from Meereswolle, a German indie dyer, and one of them is this apple green. Then I had gotten this mushroomy brown and this wine red. And from the other dyer in the exact same base, I got this super nice turquoise. So I had those 4 colors already. And the last few weeks I always thought about those because I bought them together for a project. And I thought, oh, what sweater do I want to make? Maybe a flex light and just stripe it up. And then I saw my friend in her sweater, and I got 3 skeins of black. Or it's a dark, dark charcoal. And this is going to be my main color for the Stripes Gone Crazy. And these 4 are going to be my stripes. So let's see how I can do this. These 4 are the stripes. And this is the main yarn. Don't you think it's going to be amazing? I think it's going to be great. So I have to wind my black yarn and get started because this is on the go. So good. Now, from Knitting in the Future, I'm not gonna show these later for new stuff. I bought these at the knitting retreat for my stripes gone crazy. So I'm gonna put them away now because I do have spinning. It's not a lot, but I have a little bit of spinning. I spun up this bobbin at the knitting retreat. I have to make sure that my end does not go crazy. So this bobbin is finished. It's the second bobbin for the sweater spin that I'm doing for my friend Martina. She bought the fiber and I'm spinning it for her. And I finished the first braid now. I have four left. These are 200-gram braids, so it's a kilo in the end. And yeah, this is what it looks like, and this is it spun up. And like I said, 2 bobbins done, 1 complete braid, and I'm working on it slowly but surely. It will get done. Oh, that's an important thing. Okay, so that's it for spinning. Now, on to new stuff, which I have to flip the page because I have so much stuff today. Okay, new stuff. There's a lot of stuff because, you know, life sucks right now, and getting things in the mail makes you happy, at least for a little bit. So I got a lot of stuff in the mail, and I bought a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna justify it to anyone. So yeah, it is what it is. So the 3 skeins of black I just showed to you. The other things that I got at this retreat, I'm going to show those first. And I'm very happy with myself because at this retreat I bought everything with a purpose. There was no ooh shiny. There was just, I want to make this with this and I want to make this with this. So I got these 2 skeins of Geilsk Tünd Uld. I have no idea if that is how you say it. It is a very lightweight fingering yarn. So I'm not sure if these are if I'm able to use these for the new mittens by Soldatique. I'd love to, but I'm not sure if it's going to work out because this is 288 meters for 50 grams. So it's really a lightweight fingering weight. And this is the label. Geilsk Tünd Uld. No idea what it means, but something wool, because I think old is wool, but I just don't know. And then I got 3 skeins from Dibadu. She's a German indie dyer, and someone had brought her things. She wasn't there, but her stuff was there. And I got these 3 twisted 50s. That's what she calls those, and they are 50-gram skeins. And I recently got gifted the 3-color cashmere cowl pattern by Joji Locatelli, and I want to make it with these 3 skeins. So this is another purpose buy. Then I got 2 mini skeins in blue, and I'm going to use those for my son's blanket because I picked up mini skeins whenever I could, whenever, you know, someone had mini skates at retreats for his blanket to put it in as a memory for myself. So these are for my son's blanket because I'm knitting his blanket all blue. And then the 2 non-yarn things that I got a yarn winder thingy, and these are the best I have found. I have several different ones, but these are the absolute best. And they are from a company called wollabroller.de. If you are in Germany or, you know, anywhere and you want a really good one, these are wonderful. I have 2 now. This is my second one and I love those. So yeah, they're handmade. Beautiful. And the other wonderfully beautiful handmade wooden thing that I got is a yarn bowl. I have gotten a yarn bowl from them at the last time I was at this retreat. The other one is a natural with a lid, and this time I went for non-natural colored stuff without a lid. But isn't this beautiful? It's so gorgeous. I can't wait to use this. It's so nice. Quite expensive, but you know, handwork. So I'm really happy with this. It makes me really happy. So these things will go upstairs into my little knitting nook. And the other things I'm gonna leave down here. So, okay, now that's the knitting retreat I went to. Let's get rid of this. Now, other things. I got gifted a skein of yarn. It's hand spun from my friend the Stitchionista. And she finished it up and decided that the colors were just not for her. But they are totally my colors. So I am going to make a shawl out of this, I think. Not sure yet which pattern, but it's going to be a shawl. It is chain plied, so it's going to stripe. Yeah, no idea what to do with it, but it will be a shawl for sure. Then I got these two skeins gifted from my friend Sandra, who is the dyer behind Kunterbunte Wolle. And she had them left over after she finished her project. And I just had, I'm going to start a sweater out of these. Not these two, I have some more. And these are going to be my backup skeins. So this is perfect. It's Stoppelwolle Zauberball Stärke 6, which basically means that it should be a DK weight, but to me it still looks like fingering weight. I think the Zauberball yarn is extremely thin for what it says it is. So yeah, I have these two to go into my sweater as well as backup. And if I'm not going to use them for my sweater, I'm going to make something for Tim out of it, because these are 150 gram skeins each. So this is 300 grams and totally enough for a sweater for the kid. So that's that. Then, talking of Sandra, I got these two skeins from her hand-dyed yarn. And they are a light fingering weight. They are not for socks. I am going to make a shawl. A beautiful, colorful one. Because I just love these. You should totally go and check out her shop because she's amazing. And then, let's continue with these. I got gifted a pair of socks. I did have some sock blockers. I'm going to have to put them on sock blockers to show them to you in all their glory. My friend Hella, who is also the organizer of the knitting retreat I just went to, sent me a parcel to, make me happy for a bit. And she did. She knit me a pair of monkey socks out of this beautiful merino yarn. And she made me very happy with it. And she also included some stitch markers, and I had them. They were here. Do not know where I put them now, but yeah. Aren't these gorgeous? I do have wonderful friends, thank God. So yeah, thank you so much. I love these. They are amazing. And then I received the first shipment of the Ushitita Yarn Club. So if you are in the winter yarn club for this sock and you do not want to get spoiled, please go away because I'm going to show my yarn because I'm super happy with it. So the Ushitita Yarn Club is for 2 skeins. So I'm going to receive 2 skeins for 3 months. And the first shipment arrived yesterday and I love it. So this is the first skein. It is her 75-25 normal sock yarn. This one is called Old School. And the other skein is called Trickster, which immediately makes me think of Supernatural because they have a trickster. And it looks like this. And if I wanted to, I could use them together because these speckly things here and here, they are exactly the same. So these would go together, but I'm not sure yet what to do with them. So I think what I will do is I will wait for all 6 skeins to arrive at my house, and then I'm going to decide what to do with them. If I'm going to use them in one project or different projects or whatever. So that's that. My first yarn from her, and I'm super happy with it. I was so glad that I was able to get into the club that is just, yeah, it's gorgeous. So then I have some more things. I have a lot of things to show. So, oh, there they are. Here are the stitch markers from Hella. They are little bottles. So I got contacted by a Instagram friend if I could get her some Rigia yarn, and she got me some stuff from Knitpicks to trade. And I asked her to get me 2 books because I love their patterns and I cannot get them. So I did trade with Anne, and she got me these 2 books from Knitpicks. It's Illuminated Lines and Hardwood. There are beautiful patterns in here, colorwork, cables, just, you know, all the things that I love. She also sent me some sticky notes, which are always great, and this beautiful skein of Knitpick Stroll fingering weight, and they're from a hand-painted edition, and it's yellow and gray and light blue. It's beautiful yarn, and it's a normal 75-25, but Knitpick's yarn is really soft. I really like this. So thank you, Anne. I'm very glad that we did this trade, and I'm glad that you enjoy the yarn that I sent you. So these are mine as well, of course, otherwise I wouldn't show. Okay, so you go here. And then I went to a knitting, not a retreat, it's just like a big meetup near Munich. It's called Oberbayern Strickt, and I got a few little things there. I got this project bag from my friend Petra. She makes those triangle pyramid shaped ones, and I just love the fabric. It is corduroy, and I love corduroy. So it's corduroy fabric, baby cord, needle cord, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I also got this needle cozy. I know I can make them myself, but I have a project bag out of the exact same fabric from her, so I wanted to have the matchy thing. And I got 2 skeins of Ferner Wolle sock yarn. It's an Austrian yarn maker, and their yarn is really nice. So I got these 2 skeins of commercial sock yarn there. And I have way more to show, so maybe you want to grab a coffee or whatever, because it's gonna take a bit. So let's put this back in here. A local friend did make like surprise bags, and I got a surprise bag from her in greens. And what I received in this bag was these 2 skeins of yarn. They're from a German dyer called Ulis Wollzauber, and I really like them. They're gonna be socks, definitely, because this is the German sock yarn, you know, not soft stuff. But it's gonna be great socks for sure. For my husband, for me, not sure yet, but socks. There also was this notebook in here. Just a normal notebook with lines. A itty bitty yardstick. And some stitch markers made by my friend Ute, who lives in my hometown. So this was that. It's not it. I still have stuff to show. And I'm running out of space here. Okay. Then I received wonderful gifts in the mail because I have amazing friends. And I got a skein of yarn gifted from my friends who went to a knitting retreat, because the week my father passed away, I actually would have gone to a knitting retreat for the weekend. And of course I didn't. So my friends, they gave me a skein of yarn and a beautiful card. And yeah, so here it is. This is the skein of yarn that they gave me. It's by Spinning Martha. She is out of business. And this skein of yarn came from a friend's stash who also passed away recently because, well, she didn't pass away because she just passed away. And another friend brought some of her yarn to sell so they could give the money to her husband because he doesn't need the yarn anymore. And this is from her stash, and she was a friend of mine, and I'm very happy to have this, and it's gonna make a shawl for me, I think. Yeah, the stitch markers they put on for me as a little pick-me-up gift. And yeah, like I said, life sucks right now, and my mother and I, we just tallied up all the people we know that passed away in the last 8 to 9 weeks, and we came up with 7. So yeah, I need all the pick-me-ups I can get. So this skein of yarn from my friend's stash I will treasure forever. So okay, I received something in the mail from my wonderful friend Catherine. She lives in Wales, and we met at the Edinburgh Yarn Fest, and she sent me beautiful things. She also, what I cannot show you is Welsh tea, because I'm drinking it right now, and Welsh cakes that I already ate. So she did send me some things from Lush, beautiful things, and this box has been sitting in my room and everything smells great. So I got a bath bomb that I'm going to use maybe today. I'm not sure yet. This week for sure. But I'm not going to show all the Lush stuff. I'm going to show you the yarn because that's why you are here. And the beautiful pin. So I received a beautiful pin that she had custom made for her. It looks like this. Isn't that great? So this one goes in here. Then she sent me a skein of truly hooked hand-dyed yarns in the colorway Twilight. Looks like this. It is gray, purple, and white. It's gonna be socks. Yeah, so 75-25 nylon mix. It's gonna be socks. And she also sent me 2 skeins of West Yorkshire Spinners Air Valley DK weight. And I want to use these for a colorwork project. I'm not sure which one yet, but it will be colorwork for sure. Because these go together wonderfully. And they have enough contrast so you can see colorwork. So that's what this will be. Colorwork. So thank you so much, Catherine. I'm very happy to have you in my life. And not only because you sent me stuff to eat, which was amazing, by the way. If you have a good recipe for Welsh cakes, anyone out there, please let me know because I want to make more. They were delicious. So that's that box. And I'm absolutely running out of space. Okay. Then I treated myself to the A Stash of One's Own book. I received it yesterday. Have not looked into it at all. But I have a question. If you have this book, can you see how uneven the pages are? Is that how it's supposed to be, or is mine just not cut correctly? Because it's really bad. I mean, the top and bottom are great, but the sides are awful. Can you see this? Please tell me if that is how it's supposed to be, because if it is, I'm not a big fan of that at all. I want my pages to be clean because I cannot even turn the page. It's now more gifts. I receive beautiful gifts from beautiful friends as pick-me-ups. And this gift here is from my friend Anya. And we have met through our blogs years and years ago and just reconnected on Instagram a few months ago. So she sent me this beautiful skein of Verdandi. Never heard of that. But it's a cotton sock yarn. They're very common in German. And it's a beautiful orange. And she attached this progress keeper that has a sugar skull on it. Not sure if I can show this to you. You see? Sugar skull. I love skulls. She also put in some tea, heartwarming tea, unicorn chocolate, a mini charm pack of fabric, some soap, because you can never have enough soap, sweets, just some small Lübecker marzipan, and these chocolate covered almonds and a bath thing that's still in here. Thank you so much, Anya. I really love it. This yarn is beautiful. And I think I'm going to use it for a shawl because this color is good for me. All of the autumn colors are great for me. So this will be used around the face. And also she crammed everything into this teeny weeny box. So she's a master of packing things. And then I got a package from my friend Anna. You know, I got packets from Anya and Anna. So she also sent me a skull stitch marker because, you know, word travels, and a tiny teacup. Some more tea, a little candle, candy, another candle, and a beautiful braid of superwash merino fiber that I want to spin up for socks because it's beautiful. Oh, I'm losing my candy here. And there's also a beautiful, beautiful necklace that is Harry Potter themed. It's from the Marauders map, which I hadn't seen yet because I had not taken out the fiber before. And it says, "I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good," which is my life motto. Thank you so much, Anna. It's all the A names with 4 letters. It's getting me confused. So thank you so much. I adore this. I'm gonna tell you later. Okay, now I have to rearrange stuff. I'm almost finished. I only have the things from Ireland to show because I went on an Ireland trip with my husband. I saw it on Instagram, I think that the Knitting and Stitching show was taking place in Dublin. And we've been there, I think 8 or 9, maybe 10 years ago. And yeah, I decided I wanted to go. And I just sent a screenshot to my husband, and his reply was a screenshot of the flights. So it was Friday. On Friday, I told him that I wanted to go, and then on Saturday we flew out and went to the stitching show on Sunday. That's how it went. So when we were there, I got a lot of yarn at the Knitting and Stitching show, and also at This Is Knit and the Constant Knitter, which are the 2 yarn shops in Dublin. And I have to say, for me and for what I like, the Knitting and Stitching show in Dublin is not worth going to for me, because they have a lot of acrylic yarn, which has its purpose. I'm not against acrylic yarn. It has its purpose, but just not for me most of the time. So I'm not going to go there again for that purpose, because it was a 16 euro entrance fee per person, and we paid 7 euros for parking. So we were out 40 euros before we even got in. And that, for what it offered, is too much for me. If you enjoy that, perfect, go. I didn't. So I still ended up buying stuff, so it couldn't have been that bad, right? Okay, stuff is falling. So at the Knitting and Stitching show, I didn't buy that at the Knitting and Stitching show. I got it at Eason, which is a bookshop chain. But at the Knitting and Stitching show, I got Toft yarn and these colors for color work, because I'm in a total color work mood. And this is a DK weight. I would say it's more like a worsted. They say DK, but I feel like it's a worsted weight. And I got the brown for the main color and these 3 for contrasts. And let's see. I also got 2 skeins of apple oak hand-dyed yarn. And this is a 80% wool and 20% rami mixture. It's the plant fiber that I've been talking before. And these are going to be a shawl, I think, a 2-color shawl, because these go together perfectly. And also at the Knitting and Stitching show, I got 1 skein of green elephant hand-dyed yarn. I'm not sure where it was, but it was at a bigger shop thing. They did not have an own booth. their own booth. So I got this skein that my son tried to play with. I think it's a bit okay. So this is it. Green elephant. All of the hand-dyed yarn that I got in Ireland are hand-dyed in Ireland. That was the important thing for me. I also got this from Toft. They just gave it to me. They popped the yarn in and handed it to me. So that was that. And yeah, so these are the yarns that I got at the Knitting and Stitching Show. And then we went to This Is Knit, which I love. It's in the Powerscourt Townhouse Centre. It's a small shopping centre in the middle of Dublin. And I got one skein of Townhouse yarns, which I think is their own brand. The colorway is deciduous. No idea. Never heard of that word. I'm sorry. And then 2 skeins of Olan, or Olan, I'm not sure. But they are also Irish hand-dyed yarns. So that was This Is Knit. And after that, we went to the Constant Knitter, where I got another 3 skeins of hand-dyed yarn. And they are from different dyers, but I want to use those together. So I got a skein of Ellie and Ada in this beautiful saffron yellow. And the colorway is Can't Cut the Mustard. Then I got a skein of the Fiber Kitchen in Blue Chai, which is a very bright turquoise. And these 2 are singles. And I got a skein of Comerac yarns and fiber. The colorway is Copper Beach. And this is a Superwash Merino nylon sock yarn. It's not a single, but just these colors are so great together. It's going to be a very pop shawl. This is a very dark red, bright turquoise, and mustard yellow. That's the only color that shows up like it is. So I got these at the Constant Knitter, and I also got 2 skeins of Brooklyn Tweed Loft because color work. And these might be perfect for the Mittens by Salted Teak. Ooh, I just need a 3rd color for those, but I need just a tiny bit of a 3rd color, so I'm gonna make this work, I think. The colorways are Plume and Veil. Very dark burgundy red and this very pale yellow. So yeah, that's my haul from Ireland, from our Ireland trip. And the Ireland trip was very important to me. Like I said, we did the shopping on Sunday, and we did have a car rental. So on Monday we drove out to our old house because my parents used to have a house in Ireland, and we were there a lot. And it has always been the place where my father was happiest. He was just so happy over there. He sang and danced around the kitchen while making breakfast, and he never did that at home. He was just so happy over there. So we went to the old house, and there's a big lake in front of our old house, and I got a yellow rose, which is his favorite flower. And in Germany, in southern Germany where I live, we have these little paper things that are called Sterbebild. They have it's like a death picture. I'm not sure how to translate it. There's a picture of the person who passed away, their birth and death date, and a normally just a little quote from the Bible. And I did put his Sterbebild and the yellow rose in the lake in front of our old house and sent him off there. And it was the hardest thing I did in a long time, but it was also the most important one. And I'm getting teary, and I'm going to stop this now because you do not have to see me cry. Yeah, so this is going to be a 2-parter, like I said, because I still have reading, listening, watching on my list for today. And I think I'm going to do that now because I want to end on a happy note. So let's put all of this away. I'm just kind of throw it over there. There's a little basket over there. So let's do reading, listening, watching, just to be happy at the end. Okay, reading, listening, watching. I am listening to the 6th audiobook from Harry Potter. It's the Half-Blood Prince. It's still the German version, read by Felix von Manteuffel. I'm about the first third, maybe halfway through, and it's still awesome. I mean, it's Harry Potter, and it's perfect. Then, I have started watching The X-Files, because I remember watching these in my youth every now and then, and liking it. So I wanted to watch them on Amazon or Netflix. They're not on Netflix, and they are only as paid for on Amazon. And I just don't. No, it's not going to happen. I already pay for Amazon Prime. I'm not going to pay for stuff to watch. So what I did instead is I got the full series on DVD, which is very reasonably priced. And I started season 1. And I watched the first DVD, and I still like it. It's great. So yeah, I love the outfits. It's so weird, but awesome. So I'm watching The X-Files, and I'm enjoying it. And now for the happy thing. I really, really love British panel shows. Like, I love 8 out of 10 Cats. I love their countdown version. I'm a big fan of Would I Lie to You? And I love A League of Their Own. And one person who's on all of these every now and again is Sarah Millican. She's an English comedian. She does a lot of stand-up. And I would love to go to one of her shows, but that's just a bit much, you know. I would have to fly out, get a hotel, get the tickets and everything. And I actually checked if she's in Edinburgh next year when I'm in Edinburgh, and she's not. So that's not going to happen. But she published a book just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. It is her autobiography, and it's amazing. It's called How to Be Champion. This is her, and she's just, I love her. She's my absolute celebrity crush. I love Sarah Millican. She's amazing. And as you can see, I'm about halfway through, and this is my In the Bathtub book. So I've been spending a lot of time with Sarah Millican in my bathtub, and it's amazing. Like I said, it's her autobiography. I am at the point where she started doing stand-up, and it's a very honest book, and she talks a lot about her childhood and youth, where she always was the nerdy, non-popular kid, and I can relate to that. I've always been a bit nerdy. I was kind of popular because I always had a big mouth, and you know, I just always spoke my mind, and when you're a teenager you can impress people with that. I'm not sure why, but it worked out that way. So yeah, I'm reading this book. I'm loving it. If you need a pick-me-up, something to laugh out loud, get this book. It's amazing. If you're easily offended by language, do not get this book. Otherwise, I can only just recommend this. It's amazing. Just amazing. Get it, read it. It's perfect. It's Sarah Millican. What can go wrong? So I'm going to stop this now. I will come back to you possibly in 2 days with all the sewing stuff, which is going to be a lot of showing. Again, I didn't accumulate a lot of new things there, but I did finish a lot. So that's going to be all about finished objects. And if you're not interested in sewing, you can just skip that. And yeah, I hope I will be back to a somewhat regular podcasting schedule. And also in December, in the beginning of December, my podcast will be 3 years old. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and for the most part, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm going to stop. I hope you all have a wonderful week, 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever, whenever you're going to come back. And until then, enjoy everything you do.